Snake, you know who that is?
You're kidding, right? It's
Mario! King!
Alright, that's enough of that. That is enough of that. Yo, 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 yo. Hope Mike's good. Hope Mike's good. Volume is up. Mark is here. Mark is here. Man, I have so much work to do for the channel. It is absolutely mind-boggling the amount of stuff I'm going to do. But as far as like this past like month and a half, 2 months, everything's done for the past 2 months. You know, I had my bachelor trip, then I had my wedding, and then I had my honeymoon. I've been traveling and worried about wedding stuff. So all that's done. It's all over. It's all over. Okay, all of it's finished. I'm done with all of that. I'm married now. I don't have my ring on right now because I actually got a little rash on my finger from Jamaica. That's where I did my honeymoon at. So that was great. I had a fantastic time there. If you've never been to Jamaica, go. Please enjoy a vacation, a nice vacation where they take care of you. Go to Jamaica. Anyway, I came here to talk about the channel and then obviously some ureks stuff. So I won't be gone any longer. Next week, I'm back on reviews, the weekly reviews for urek. They will be dropping again. I also have a bunch of short content planned. I have a T-bait review coming that for the the final stretch of that season, and then I also have some anime that I'm watching that's pretty good that I want to talk about too. That I'm probably going to do some shorts for. I'll be more active in my Discord now. Just the channel in general. My whole channel will be back to the way it was before wedding stuff. So I'm sorry for all of that. I know I haven't put out much, but the couple streams I did do. But I'm back. Things are going back to normal. So just FYI to anybody. And you have no how much of a relief that is for me because all that stuff was stressful. Getting married, stressful. Just a lot of shit going on. Anyway, I have read this week's chapter, and it was kind of mid. Like, okay, like the princess was kind of the focal point, right? Like, I think we could say the Zahara princess. We don't have a name for her. Just the princess. She was the focal point of the whole chapter. I don't know. I haven't really formulated too many thoughts on it. So, like, what I mean is, so she fought the penguin, right? Whose name is Bicon. She fought the penguin, and he is a penguin who has learned to defend himself from Lobopia, the Lobopia family, which is like pretty cool. Like, I love like little background stuff like that. Like, okay, he obviously whatever floors they run or wherever he is located at is a floor that they're probably dominant on or whatever, and they defend themselves from him. So that has made him strong in turn as a race. That's really cool. Love that kind of stuff. But the princess, she got in his ass. Like, it was inevitable. Like, is Bicon a female? Oh. I must have missed that. Okay. Well, Bicon being a female didn't really change anything. But thanks for the correction. Yeah, so she kind of got dealt with. Like, and I don't know how I feel about the princess kind of announcing that she didn't want any help from anybody. Because it's kind of like, I don't know if that was a moment that was really needed. Like, I don't know if we really need to see that because, like, even in like the regular series, right, where we like got the beginning floor and the second floor and Dorsey and even Anik, there was like nobody like. I don't like people obviously knew who Ann Dorsey was because she's famous, but there was nobody like leaping to support her, right? So, and even with Anik, people were just like in awe of her, like, "Oh, you're a princess? Oh, cool!" Like they're shocked, but there was nobody like leaping to like serve her like crazy. Like Anik, and Dorsey more had like fanboys, if we being honest. Like hers weren't like, "Oh, she's a princess, let's help her." It was more like they were fanboys. So with this princess, I know it's a little bit earlier on, obviously, than from Mom's time, but it kind of felt unnecessary. Like it was just like, okay, you guys don't need to help me. I'm good. And I guess they're trying to ride her coattail, but I'm reading this and I'm like, I mean, who gives a fuck? Like, if we being like, I don't really give a shit. Like, they're all background characters, right? And I don't understand how they didn't get that notion from her before, because she's been cutthroat since like she's been introduced, and maybe they didn't notice, but she's a cutthroat girl. So y'all trying to help her, if I use this opportunity to like get on her good side, it's just kind of like, I don't see how this benefits y'all, because this is a team-based game. Like, so like getting the crown and like securing the crown to be your focus, like y'all have to survive the game. Like, why are we worried about the princess? Like, it kind of felt like, again, it felt unnecessary to be like, okay, we're, she's not like the Ann Dorsey. Like, Ann Dorsey literally walks into her fame, right? She walks into her stardom. This girl's just kind of like, oh, okay, we know her, she's a princess type shit. So I thought that part was just meh. Her, as far as her body in them, like off screen, as to be expected, like we already know she's not up there with Urek, obviously, but she can fight with him. So of course everybody else around is like no match. Like yeah, she's gonna diff them. It is what it is. Now the thing with Cheongyam is interesting, obviously, because I don't know what he gets when I don't know what he means when he says that she's empty. I don't I don't understand that part of it. So what I think of when you say empty, I think about like the Great Warriors, right? Like I think about Trom and them, how they're like emotionless beings, right? Like they don't have any emotions. Like we've talked, we already know. I don't have to go back into the whole thing, but the concept of not having emotions, not caring about stuff, that's what I get when he says that she's empty. And to be honest, if I think about her character since she's met her, she does resemble like a Trom or a Gustang in how she acts, right? Like I think she acts exactly like them in terms of behavior. There hasn't been much reason for her to show much emotion, but like she doesn't get overly angry, she doesn't get sad, she doesn't get extremely happy. Like we've seen none of those things. The only thing we've seen her do is really like laugh at the fact that like Yurik and her like that, laugh at the fact that like Yurik is who he is and him like not taking her on, but she never overly like showed any over emotion. So when he says empty, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe she's empty enough that like she doesn't have anything holding her down. Like, for example, right? Somebody like Bomb would not be empty. Like we know he has the emptiness and the empty and void. And I mean emotionally wise, like Bomb cares about everybody, right? Like his whole reason, like if let's say Bomb was her, right? Bomb entered the tower to chase Rachel, so he has a reason to be there. Like he's not empty. His whole idea and concept of being here is was for Rachel. I'm thinking like I don't even know how he can see this, right? Like visually, how you can say, oh, she's empty. Like how can you just read somebody's emotions? So I'm just talking in theory of what I thought about when he said that, but there's no way to tell like what do you mean by like she's empty, right? Like how does that make sense that she's empty? And we're talking about like emotions. Me is the only thing I can think about because obviously she's not weak, and so and that could be good for Magoo. And he said as a vessel. So I don't. That's the extent of my thoughts behind with in terms of like that stuff. So I'm not exactly sure I mean, none of us are exactly sure, but I do want to know what everybody thinks about that whole thing when he could use her. Now as far as the other interesting bit was I've been well, the princess are all celebrities in the tower, and she is strong. They think teaming up with her would be an easy win. I understand that as like an idea, Sleepy. My only thing is the only other princess we've gotten is Ann Dorsey, and Ann Dorsey kind of walked into her stardom. Like she literally embraced it. Like she's known to give interviews. She's like kind of like pop starish. Like they know her. This one, she doesn't seem as well known as like Ann Dorsey was when Ann Dorsey was introduced. And I get that they want to get on her good side because she's a princess, but to me, it just felt like this shouldn't be the focus of what we're doing right now. Like, we shouldn't be trying to help the princess in this game, in this moment, when it's a team-based game, right? Like, your team doesn't win or move on unless, like, you're a part of the game and you're winning at the game. They're focused on her instead of, like, looking for the crown, which is, like, that's my only issue with it. I understand that, but like this is literally a team based game. It's not an individual game. Like if it was an individual thing, yeah, cool. Help her out. Like in the first game where you're picking people off, cool. Get on her good side during it. But now, I and they, they all ran away anyway. So it just, I don't know. It just felt like an unnecessary piece that we really didn't need because I think if we're looking at this as a series, like if you're assuming that we already read Tower of God Part 1 or the original Tower of God, then this type of stuff isn't necessarily necessary because we understand what the hard princesses are and how important they are to people and like the popularity of them. It just felt like, okay, like I knew this was gonna happen. Wait, like waste of a few panels, right? That's all I'm saying. Like as far as like getting into the plot, because I'm the way I'm thinking about this is right because everybody's saying it now. Everybody is complaining about the slowness of getting to the plot. Like CU is doing exactly what he was doing in season 3. We were praying to God that he would not do this, but he is doing that. He's wasting time on shit that we don't care about that doesn't need to be added. So that's where I'm kind of attacking this from, where that piece of it, we don't need this. We don't need that. We don't need, oh, she's a princess, help her, we love her. We don't need this. We don't need this. The chapter suck because we're not digging into the actual plot. We're getting into like pieces of her and they're throwing in little sprinkles of it. Like, oh, she could be used for Magoo and Cheongyum is around. And okay, when we originally discussed this, right? We discussed about how long do we think that this spinoff is going to last. If we're taking this pace, this spinoff is going to last until the next season comes out, which is what I don't want. I don't want two pieces of content in Tower of God dropping at the same time because CU is working on both, and that means that there will be a quality drop. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot work in two pieces of content at the same time, as big as these are, and have them both be the same amount or bigger quality. No, no, no. So when it comes to pacing, this stuff is just, a lot of this stuff is just not important as far as I'm concerned. But it also depends on how long we're making this. So, I almost thought that the white-haired light bearer was an Arya member. I don't even remember who that is. The princess, I mean, this could be similar to bombs. Okay. As far as like, but yeah, I don't know. Must be different translation from what I read. The guy said something implying that she's multiple entities put in the body. So I'll pull it up. That's what I was discussing. So I don't do the whole I can respect vortex scans, but I don't do vortex scans. I don't do vortex scans. I usually do unknowns. I do unknowns content. His translations. His are like by far the most clear to me. Let me pull it up. Bum bum bum. And the fight with the penguin was like exceedingly long for no reason. Like yeah, this chapter just felt a little drawn out. Like I don't think it was a bad chapter. It's just like it's just another like 6 for me. One more of her ability. What a pity. She's completely empty. There it is. I don't even think this is a side story anymore. It's its own thing, like leveling up, like the gods and heroes return. I mean, that's at this point, it's looking like it at the pace he's taking it. All right, let me So this is what he was talking about, Sleepy. Like I do unknowns translations, so this was his translations. So he says she is completely empty. This could be useful for Lady Magoo. Like this is the translations I at least used. So that's why I was discussing like in terms of empty. That's I only could think of emotional emptiness. I see what Gaius is getting at, but I wouldn't even know where to wrap my head around that because Bomb's emptiness comes from like V, and then it comes from like the darkness within him. So I wouldn't even know where to start with that. But I will say the fight with Cheongyam and Baskerville wasn't well. It wasn't even a fight. Let me walk that back. It wasn't a fight. Baskerville got diffed hard. Like it wasn't even fair. As a like test administrator, I'm a little disappointed. I don't know if he got caught off guard or what. I don't know if that makes Cheongyam like a advanced ranker or a high ranker, and Baskerville like just a mid level ranker. But even if he's like a mid, like I can't think of. Can you guys think of any examples in the regular Tower of God where a regular ranker fought like a high ranker or an advanced ranker, and it was like an immediate diff? I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like high ranker to regular ranker is like not even fair. Like I wouldn't even compare that. But at least advanced ranker. So I don't think that Cheongyam's a high ranker. I don't. I mean, I have no reason not to believe it. But and I also think his ability was his like bangs were pretty cool. Like I've never seen anything like that before in terms of techniques. Like this whole thing was actually pretty cool. He like kind of wrapped this like if he's a wave controller, right? And he obviously like wrapped the whole like area that they're fighting in bangs, and that was like okay, that's actually pretty fire for a technique. Like that's very creative on Siu's part. Never seen that before. Now, I would have think somebody like Baskerville could counter that pretty quickly since he's also a wave controller. But I don't think he could keep up with what do you say, Shinsu compartment. I don't think he could just keep up with it. So I'm thinking maybe it's advanced ranker to the regular ranker. I don't know. We don't actually know their rankings. Like they weren't like if anything, I would believe that what's his name? The head test guy, the chief test guy. I would think he's at high ranker or at least advanced ranker. He has peers with Cheongyam, so maybe they are at least advanced rankers. But
You streaming?
yes. Yeah, this whole thing, this was a low diff for Basket. Like Basket got low diff. I hated that for him. And it's looking like a Yurik rescue situation. Now, if Yurik comes in and diffs him, though, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I ain't been enjoying these last two chapters, but I am here for that. Like that's one I'll wake up early for on Monday to see if the spoiler's out for. Okay, because this guy is one of those guys who's pretty cocky, right? And he has like that attitude, like that kind of attitude, right, where you want to see him get beat. Even the way he's talking to Baskerville, like, look, I'm stronger than you. Like, okay, now let Yurik pop up and say, oh, like you like this my low key, this my sensei. Like you going let me show you what my sensei taught me and get real crazy with him. Now I don't think that I think if Yurik does fight him, he doesn't like kill him or wipe him out. I think like there'll be a point where like Cheongim can escape or something like that. I don't think it's gonna be like a straight up fight where like because like the game's still going on. So like the B story in this is like the game. Like the game is like the most important thing, and that's what Yurek's chasing. But he might notice on the way that Baskerville is like on the verge of death, and that's what I can imagine happening. Like him getting into it after that. I like the penguin. I hope she's not dead by where we're going to. We're going over to mine side plots for the story. Like I said, I like the little cute little short hair woman. Unless she's important to the main story. The blue hair girl who's trying to deceive Yurik. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care enough about these. I don't care about these people. I completely hope you enjoy it. But these guys, I don't care about these people. There hasn't been enough established besides that this guy's he's like one of the easiest Japanese or Chinese tropes in anime, where this guy's this big, he's this big kind of like I don't call him ugly, but he's big ugly guy who like likes a girl low key and he's like high key stalking her and jealous over any guy who talks to her type, like like that normal thing. That's what's happening here. To the point where he put something on her. When he put like a bug on her or something, where he can track her. Like yeah, one of those things. But I just don't care enough about it. But he's talking about this guy. He could be from Arya. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it, guys. I can see that. I think his hair is like a shade of like gray instead of white. But I get what you mean. I am a water type penguin. We always fight bears of the Lobo Pia family that try to capture us. And it's rude to talk about a lady's body as you meet her. Okay. I must have missed that part. With bear, I didn't see the side note. With bears probably refers to the Frosty Bears branch of the Lobo Pia Wee Wee. I didn't put that together. That's actually pretty cool. So we've seen Wee Wee, who's obviously like dead in the real story, but the Frosty Bears branch family, because right, Wee Wee would have his own whole branch family who use like bears or chili bears, and and they're fighting that. That's the kind of stuff that I wanted to put. So this is what I wanted from the side story. Besides like the lore that we can connect to the main story, I wanted some like details like this where we can connect it and be like, oh, I know what he's talking about. So yeah, the bears from the chili bear branch, who the wee wee who put bomb in the chokehold low key, who had bomb cold, and he ended up winning the fight. But that's pretty cool. So they're fighting those bears. The main star are part of the group of the future. We don't need all this. He's a creep. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If this is supposed to be a side story, he's not treating it like one. That's all I'm saying. Like, if this was to be 100 chapters, right? Let's say the side story ends up being 100 chapters or even 50 chapters. I would be really pissed that we spent at least 3 chapters on this shit, right? I would be pissed. The medicine for the series would be more lore drop and focus with Yurik and aura farming. Right. Just keep it that. Just keep it Yurik focused. There should never be a chapter where he's not the focus. If we're going to make the princess the second focus, that's fine. I think we're all okay with that at this point because we're trying to figure out who she is, what family she comes from. If she's Baek Ryun, which is the popular theory that's going around now, we're trying to figure out who she is. So either make her the focal point and then make Yurik the focal point. But don't put these side characters who barely have any detail as the main part of the story. We don't care. Like it gets dragging. It gets very dragging. Like a lot of this, like I said, a lot of this shit could have been cut out. I think you could have combined the last 3 chapters of the chapters that came out. So 14, 15, no, 15, 16, and this is 17. You probably could have combined them and cut a lot of this shit out, and we would have been happy. I don't think anybody would disagree with that, right? We could have combined the last couple ones, just cut some of the bullshit out, like some of the shit in this chapter. Like the regulars in the beginning, they got way too much screen time. This creepy guy and all this, they got way too much screen time. The penguin fighting her got a little bit too much screen time. Her calling out the regulars for trying to help her, too much screen time. Like we could have skipped a lot of this shit. Even going back into 16. A lot of this back and forth between her and these bulls, we could have skipped a lot. We don't need all of it. It's like this is a lot. Like it's very like we don't need all of it. It's draggy. So I can get like I can you can read people in the comment sections, in other people's content, and then on here on this website, and you can tell people are getting like very irritated with the pacing of this, and it's fair because, and I don't know who, somebody made the comment about at the end of season 3, it would be hard to go back to regular content. And I disagree with them because I think depending on the characters we go back to who are still regulars, I can't think of anybody's goddamn name, but like an Anik or like I can't think of anybody's goddamn name right now. But going back to the regulars we actually know about, I disagree with that because we like those characters that are already established and they've been getting stronger. Now that we're here and we are seeing like regulars, like it's not even just their fighting. We don't care about. I think maybe it's more so we don't care about these guys. Like maybe it's more so that I just don't care about these guys because, unfortunately, this story is going to be coupled with the main story, so none of these people matter in the grand scheme of the entire Tower of God. None of these people matter. The only people who matter are the princess and Yurik at this point. Magoo, we don't know. When we see Magoo might have a little bit, but we've never heard anything about Magoo in the main story, so that does bother me if she ends up being something important. But yeah, a lot of his chapters do feel like they could have been stitched together with how short they felt. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of noise with characters who don't matter. That's all. But then I don't think you should call this a side story if you're going to take this pacing. That's all. Because Yurik's story is a long story. So are we explaining Yurik's story up until he formed Wahai Song? Is that what we're doing? If we're doing that, I'm pretty sure you can skip a lot of this shit, bro. The thing I want to see the most is I want to see the 100 floor. I want to see the 100 floor test. I want to see Arya Hahn's test. That's what I want to see. I want to see who the Arya Hahn test, and I want to see who took it with him. How long is it going to take for us to get to that? You know? I don't know. But yeah, this chapter, I barely gave it a 5.5. But I gave it a 6. Also, Cheongyam's reaction to seeing the queen and like kind of like being a little bit fearful of what it is, given that the queen walked away from Yurik and was like not trying to like obviously duke it out with him. If she walks towards Cheongyam and doesn't feel scared of him, then that makes Yurik the strongest in this area still, right? Like Baskerville already mentioned that, right? Like they mentioned that if she'll walk away from anybody that's stronger than her, or she won't fight them. So if she's walking towards Cheongyam, then he's not Yurik level. And I never thought he was, but I'm just saying for anybody in the area, and obviously we've seen Cheongyam just diff Baskerville like it's nothing. He's going to get the same treatment that Danzin got. I want to see him put a forest in a snow globe or some Axis urban legend type shit that's out there, which is totally not sus to do for his mans. Oh, I can't even wrap my head around it. You want to see Yurik do what? Man, Loki, what's up, Loki? The supervisor is surprisingly absent during this whole ordeal. I guess you're right. Like the supervisor did watch the fight between Yurik and Danzin. He did watch that, but he's not. I guess it is a little funny, and maybe hopefully we'll get that in the next chapter. But there should be a reaction to like Cheongham attacking one of his like test advisors, right? Like what takes priority? Your job as a test supervisor, or like whatever little plot that you have in the background with Cheongham. Whatever you guys got going on with these clones in this island. I'm gonna imagine it's gonna be that. But maybe this blow like I'm guessing this whole situation with Yurik is gonna blow up this test supervisor's whole spot. Like he's not gonna be a test supervisor after this. Basically, um, I can't imagine that he would. I think like this will probably change things, and maybe they'll pay more close attention to the test floor after whatever Yurik's about to do here. They said put a forest in a package for Big Ryun. They said he put a forest in a package. What? I must have missed that. He did? They said he put a forest in a package. Bro, what? That sounds crazy. Well, I think she acknowledged. I think they're equals. She didn't seem scared or nervous. Just how to look like. Stop. That's my young man. That's just the dog is. That's just the dog. His opinion. Okay. Got you. Okay. Just came. What did I miss? What are we talking about? We just talking about the chapter, just general stuff in the chapter. Mainly Cheongyam, Baskerville, Yurik. Do you think the flame lady is going to kill him since that's how she got the floor? Oh, I can't remember nobody's name. I'm still on vacation mode. I apologize. I can't remember anybody's name. Like I can see everybody's face in my mind's eye, but I can't think of anybody's goddamn name. This is pathetic. I can't wait to get back in the swing of things. For you guys who missed it, I am done with my vacations. Okay, so my whole wedding thing and everything that went on with it is done. So starting next week, I will be doing my weekly reviews on top of my weekly streams. So just letting you guys know that I will be back to regular scheduled programming. And I got a lot of other stuff I'm doing. I got a review for T-Bade and some anime stuff I'm going to talk about. So I'm back. I'm back. Okay, that's it. But what the hell? Evankill. You're talking about Evankill. Is Evankill going to kill him? Didn't Evankill kill somebody from Lobopia? I thought Evankill killed somebody from Lobopia to get her floor. He could be from a Lobopia. He looks like somebody who could be, but I don't. I thought Evankill killed somebody from Lobopia to get her floor. Alternates. That's it? No background? Let me go to the second floor. I thought it said that she killed somebody from level P. I just want to double check. The second floor tower is on. The event kills hell. Blah blah blah. The history. Long time floor is used to conduct simple tests like any other. And after the intrusion of certain irregulars, such as Uric Mazzano, Phantominium caused the incumbents of the Zahar Empire to feel insecure. In order to maintain their seat of power, the Zahar Empire then placed a classified high ranker from the 10 families as the ruler and made the flora function as an outpost. Yes. So this pretty much confirms what we were just talking about. After this, what's going on this floor right now, Zahar and crew say, fuck that, we're paying close attention to this floor, and it's ours now. After Evankil killed the ruler from the floor, the Empire, she took the ownership of the floor. And it doesn't say. I thought it was somebody from Lobopia. It was somebody from the 10 Great Families. I thought it was a Lobopia member, though. Okay. I thought it was a Lobopia. I swear it was somebody from Lobopia. But we already, like, everything that's going on now is pretty much chaos, though. We already know that. Sorry, what I meant was she reacted like you said, "Stop that young man." That's when Uric reached for the crown. Oh yeah. Okay, I got you, Sleepy. I'm waiting for the official webtoon translation to release, but I'm curious if the spin-off pacing isn't much of an issue if not reading week to week. Pepper. I'm not gonna spoil you, but not gonna lie to you, the last 3 chapters have been hard to read. CU has it starts off pretty good. I say the first 10 chapters are gold. Like, they're pretty good. There are a couple chapters in between where it's like a little bit blah blah blah, but you don't mind it. These last 3 have been extremely difficult to read because it's shit we don't care about. It's not like this past chapter wasn't Uric felt focused. It was more like the background characters. And like not even like there's always a A character and a B character, right? Like how Bomb, and then it's like sometimes it's Coon, sometimes it's Rachel. In this, it's like it's the princess, and then it's Uric and the princess. But this has like a mix of like regulars who really don't matter. So it's made it like really hard to read like these last couple chapters. Also, I really like the idea of power from the outside can overpower Shinsu. Yeah, no, absolutely no doubt. That makes sense, Loki. Like yeah. Now I'm glad it's not something that everybody has. So like for example, like the Great Warriors, it doesn't seem like they have outside powers, but Uric, who's like kind of like a god from the outside, he has like something special, right? Obviously, it seems like Phantominium has something special going on where he can like kind of give his powers away, which that is what I'm eager to learn about. His ability like to pass his darkness on. And it's interesting because that concept is not exactly foreign to us. Because when you look at Bomb, like before coming in, like obviously Bomb has some form of darkness power within him. He's always had it, but that's not a trait like. It's like a trait like I guess synonymous with darkness, like because we talk about like the darkness god from outside is the one who like revived Bomb and gave Bomb the power of like all consuming gluttony or whatever. But even Phantominium, it seems like he's inside the tower and he's granting his darkness ability to people. So like anybody basically with the ability of darkness or as it has some type of, you know what I'm saying, it's able to kind of translate. No, and that's weird because they should all know about Urik's power. I don't think they come from the same outside world. No, yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, we kind of established that. Well, it was kind of I we didn't. It was established in the story that Yurik and the Great Warriors come from different times. I think it's just a futuristic thing. I just think it could be a futuristic thing, but there could be different parts of the world or different parts in time where you're able to enter the tower. That's all. Like the way I would think of it is the tower is this one place in the middle, right? And there's four doors on every side, and each door could be a different dimension, a different time, or even a different planet. Who knows? That's a tall problem as a whole. If you read it weekly, pacing is slow. Yeah, yeah. I'm reading your reading the official Yorick week to week is going to be tough. Um, I would read it on Webtoon if they caught up to the current chapters. So, for example, they're probably gonna for Webtoon they're probably gonna do what they did for Naver, which is drop the first six chapters and then do week to week releases. I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. We're already 17 chapters in. If you don't drop at least 10 chapters right off the bat, even then, I'm not gonna get to it. For me to no, I'm trying to talk myself into it. I can't do it. I know me. I can't do it. I'm still gonna read it. From translators, and it's unfortunate, but I probably will. I still haven't read the new chapter. The pacing for me, that's fair. I think that, and I think you're smart for that. I think that's better for you to enjoy it. If I could not read these last three chapters, I would have saved them up to not read them because they just weren't that good. My other theory is Hedon possibly controls when you enter the tower. That's an interesting concept. I don't hate that. So it's like he when you enter the tower and Hedon puts you in the waiting room. I like that. That's not cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I started reading a year and a half ago, so pacing issues have never been a problem for me. I know many thought season three was slow at times, but I read my own pace and never had a problem. That's great for you, Pepper. I really wish I had your patience, and I also could have read this all back to back. You have like a little bit of a different view than most people do, because those of us who do read week to week, it is extremely difficult and it's harder to enjoy. Now, when I went back and reread season three for my review of season three, I enjoyed it a lot more because all the content's there to be read. But that's my issue for certain types of stories that are written. I talked about this before, but you're supposed to write a story behind it being released week to week. Like that's how manga operates. That's how it's supposed to operate. It's week to week issues. It's the same thing like with comic books in America. Like there are issues being released. Like it's being you're supposed to write it based on that, not for everybody to enjoy into one. Like not to enjoy in one fell swoop because that's not how you're gonna drop it. So yeah, we don't know that yet. But I'm gonna say they do if anyone's a hard do. It's a hard what? That's the crown. So I wonder what happens here. do these people go for the crown, which would be kind of S side if they do? If you're not Urek or a ranker, I think it would be crazy for to do that. But he says he's going towards the queen. I don't know what that means. Like Cheongyam said, I'll go there now, which means he's gonna go towards the queen. I mean, obviously Baskerville got in his way, but he got diff so fast. He got diff so fast. Also, what do you think about Fug? Like 75% of them use darkness powers looking back. You know, you remember when we had that conversation a year ago, a little while back, when I'll fix my camera. You remember when we had that conversation, when we talked about Lusleg's words about our God? Let me pull it up. I'll pull it up. It's better if I pull it up. This was such a cool panel. I miss this. This was such a cool panel. Absolutely murdered. Did rereading season 3 and not having to deal with the hiatus make you like the season more? I thought season 3 was a step down from season 1 and 2, but still pretty good. If I'm rating Tower of God seasons, right? I love season 2. Season 2 is like a 9 for me. Season 1 is like a 8, maybe 7.5, 8. Season 3 is more of a 6.5 to me. I will say, rereading it did let me enjoy it more because I can read it again. Reading it behind each other does help you enjoy it more. I just don't think that's fair because, like, it's weekly releases. Like, it's supposed to be weekly releases, right? It would be the same thing as me saying, right? You're watching a TV show like a Demon Slayer, right? Your idea of watching Demon Slayer or even Dragon Ball Z, if you can watch the episodes back to back to back, you enjoy it more because there's no waiting, there's no pausing, you understand what's going on. You don't even get to think. You don't even get to think about what's going to happen. When you get the chance to like wait a week and then think about what you're going to expect or what's going to happen, or you get into discords or your friends and you talk about it, it changes things. And not only that, a bit of the hype dies down. So you formulate your own, and that's kind of where your own, where people kind of get headcanon from and their own thoughts and theories from. It's from waiting and brainstorming shit, right? So I try to be fair to that because that's what it is. Like, what I'm saying is it's released week to week. So I try to not grade the entire season based on me reading in one fell swoop. Because that's not the way it was released. And it would be like me betraying my original thoughts. So I have to be critical because there are series, right, who write week to week, and the chapters, every chapter. Oh, first of all, let me eliminate the concept of believing that every single chapter every week is going to be good. No, that's not realistic. There are going to be 10 out of 10 chapters, and there are going to be 6.5 chapters, right? I don't think there should be a chapter below a 5. I think there should be never be that. But those chapters should only be setup chapters. There should never be top tier content chapters where they should be ass. Like, so for example, right? The fight between Bomb and Dumas, I hated that fucking fight. That fight was ass. That's top tier content though. That's something like, oh, this Bomb is already Bomb. This is Dumas. We've been looking at Dumas like the whole latter half of the season. We've been looking at Dumas. Oh, he's going crazy. But the fight was ass. And it might have been better looking at it when you read it back to back to back. But when we was reading that shit week to week, bro, it would be one chapter, we watch Bomb get his ass whooped. And then that's how the chapter ends, right? When he got his whole body spent and the chapter end, you know what we did that whole week, bro? We laughed and made memes about Bomb the whole week. Okay? We were talking shit, laughing at Bomb for being a little dumbass and thinking that he could fight a high ranker. Then what happened the next week? He got his ass beat again. He got his goddamn arms down there broken. And the Black March had to come out and talk to him. But that's how the chapter ended. So it was like, okay, 2 weeks of watching Bomb get his ass whooped. That's not enjoyable. That's terrible. You could have like, again, being critical, but you could have written that a little bit better where it's a little bit enjoyable. Nobody in no series wants to watch the main character get their ass whooped for 2 weeks, bro. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And I'm not even a Bomb stan, but as far as like reading a series, you don't want to watch anybody who, especially the main character, get his ass whooped for 2 weeks straight. It's draining. And it's like you can only laugh about it before it becomes like, okay, bro, like we get it. He's outclassed here. There's gonna be some way for him to figure it out. And if you're reading the back to back, it's immediate for you, right? Like it's immediate for him to solve that problem. You read it, you watch it get his ass, but it don't seem like it's that long. It's like, oh, Bomb got his ass whooped. Okay, he got his ass whooped a little bit more. Black March comes out and he figures out a way to kind of not defeat but win the fight. But we were reading that stretch for 2 weeks. Oh, it's 2 weeks of Bomb suck. Like Bomb sucks for this. Like Bomb's getting his ass whooped. Like it's different. So it does. I didn't let my enjoyment of reading it all back to back affect my overall thoughts because I remember what it was like when we read it week to week. So you might still struggle with pacing, but at least he looks like he or his assistants learned the ancient art of zooming out. Yeah, I will say the art has been a lot better. Here at least, I think the only two people or the two main characters that have remnants that have to do with darkness is Karaka and Lustlek. I believe that's about it. Sleepy, but it's weird. The guy in the mask used shadows. The Native American looking guy used shadows wolves. So, okay, you're going back to... Okay, so yeah, the whole point of me coming to this chapter, right? I was trying to... Like, but look, but even look at this, though. Even look at this. This is the darkness here. Like, I know this isn't color. Like, you can see a bit of the color, right? That's the same color of darkness. That's still Phantom. Like, we're gonna call it Phantominium's darkness. That's still Dark Shinsu. Like, even this kick to the chest, that's still Dark Shinsu. And even when you go to Lustlek and you watch Lustlek fight Urek, you go to Lustlek and you watch Lustlek fight Urek. It's like anything purple is almost darkness, right? Yeah, like it's almost impossible for me to think that Phantominium doesn't have influence here. At least the fuck. It's impossible to think that. And like you guys said, especially with when Caracas case, like the whole BM thing kind of pissed me off because it shows Bomb has all these entities within him and never interacts with them. You telling me Bomb hasn't talked to Black March once since he absorbed her? Yeah, I agree with you. Supreme. I agree with you. It was kind of like it's Bomb has too many convenience moments, and that's what I think bothers me the most about his power. And that's why like everybody at the time was calling for Bomb to learn how to use his abilities the correct way. Like he needs a training segment to learn how to use it because there are too many things that are conveniently save him. But yeah, um monstrous plant, darkness. I was looking for um Lord Grace. Maybe it's the next chapter. There's a certain line I was looking for. Hmm. Mm. I was gonna say I was thinking about something, but it's impossible. I'm not gonna waste that. I thought about, it, but it's impossible. So I'm not gonna say that. I'll save that theory for another time. Looks like it's so he's so cool, right? Quant Blitz can turn into a shadow as well. Can he? I'm waiting for the day he learns how to do Hell Joe's zero area. Instead of trying to reach the level of his opponent with zero area, he's gonna bring them to his level. Kind of like a domain expansion, right? True. I think the guy in the mask you're talking about was one of Caracas' servants. Oh, you're talking about the guy who was recently in the anime, right? I know who you guys are talking about. He was in the anime. You probably can actually pull one of the I forget his name, but you could probably pull out. I think it starts with a K, but you could probably pull that up. I forget his name, but you could probably find the scene and see if his power looks like darkness. Cause you guys talking about what happened on the workshop battle? Is that the guy you're talking about? The guy with the mask? What is it? Mofol? I can't. It's something like that. I can't remember his name. Let me see if I can find it on my. It's quicker on my phone. Oh, it's Refulgio? Reflegio. Reflegio, that's his name. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm looking at it right now. This dude look like dark. This dude look like the power of darkness too. His look like actual darkness though. All right, let me pull this up. Looking at it from the anime, it does look like pure darkness. I know we reaching a little bit here, but it does look like that. I know it's hard to see, but if you look at him, right, his body is shrouded in like a dark shinsu. And I don't even remember if this was ever explained what his power was, even in the anime. I wonder. That's a hmm. Like you can see it, right? It's like shrouded in darkness. Nah, there's no way that's connected to Fanta, bro. There's no way. It's hard for me to accept that because, well, first of all, I don't even think like nobody writes that far ahead. I mean, even if the concept was there about like Phantominium powers like being influenced on Fug, like that could be there, but it's hard for me to imagine like even like as far as like Reflejo back in season 2, like like the power of darkness was just prevalent, even if like the concept wasn't fully thought out yet. But they just like everybody like basically that like the people who come from Fug are like darkness based. It's something like you remember, right? Yeah, I figure you could probably see it in the anime, and it looks like it does look like pure darkness. I shall grant you my shadow. Power is granted to those worthy of it. And it's purple and black. And it's got that purple and black color. I don't know, gang. This is throwing me off now. And it's purple and black. I ain't gonna lie, it's throwing me off. At this point, I think it'd be a crime for it not to be related to like their powers not to be related to Phantominium somehow. I think it would be kind of crazy. No, I agree with you, Supreme. I absolutely agree with you when it comes to the element of it. But but when we talk about this, right? And I look at this, and then we have the connections to Phantominium. I mean, it could simply just be like the element, but Yurek's reaction is a little bit. It's Yurek's reaction that makes this unsettling. At the end of the day, because Yurek's the one who says it's Phantominium's power. Like he's the one that calls it that. Like that's the only issue. I would agree with you. Like you could just it could just simply be that the element of each character, and but in terms of Fug, who already right, Fug is known to be to say that they are the ones from dark. Like well, Leslie, right? He's the one from darkness, right? He's comes from the deepest part of darkness, right? That's his whole aura. That's his whole thing. And then for Yurik to call the power that we've seen and eat some of his light, Phantominium's power, it's hard to believe that it's not related. And we just theory crafting at the end of the day. We're just shooting the shit, but it's hard to believe that it's not related. Especially given somebody of Lustlike's nature who is tower born and the amount of strength that he has is asinine to even think about. And maybe that's why he can even stand in the same. First of all, I haven't put that together. Maybe the whole point, like the whole reason why he can even fight him in these chapters is because his shit is the power of darkness. I ain't gonna lie, like the way like so we just watched that little anime of Reflejo, and now I'm looking at Lustlike. It just looks the same. I don't know. It's hard to believe it's not related though. That's all. Yeah, and exactly that. It's weird to think that that they're all from Fug and they all use the power of darkness. Like it's hard to believe that. So like just to say Supreme, who have we seen that is not from Fug that use the element of darkness? That would be my question for you. Just like I mean, I'm not saying that you're the one fighting this, and I'm not using you as the lead guy. I'm just saying, who else have we seen outside of Fug use the element of darkness? We know Yuri got angry because his ranking is below Fanta. Do you think he has an inferiority complex, ran from the place he lived to go fight Fanta? Because no way the guy thought Yurik is ready to fight Fanta. No, I think it's so the way I view Yurik and Phantominium, I think it's opposites, right? They're destined to fight. So I'm trying to think of like a series, right? There are plenty of series out there like that, but I'm trying to think of an example. I don't think you guys read omniscient reader's viewpoint, but in omniscient reader's viewpoint, right? The demon kings and the angels, right? They are like destined enemies. Like they cannot help but fight each other. They're like complete opposites on like not just morality, just power. Just they are born to clash. They are exact opposites. They smoke every time they see each other. I think it's that exact same thing when it comes to Yurik and Phantominium. Yurik is literally light. Phanta is literally darkness. They are meant to fight. There is no way that like they can avoid that, like the fight. It's meant to happen. I don't think it's an inferiority complex thing. I just think it's a nature thing. Like it's natural for light to try to overtake darkness and vice versa. That's all. Uh, because I will say one thing Yurik has shown consistently since he's been introduced is that like light is his thing, right? Like light, like everything is light with him. Even like obviously when he watched his Shinsu get swallowed and he got like he said that's the power of Fanta, but even before that, where we're getting introduced to him, he's been mentioning like the power of light. He is light. He's the brightest one. That's been consistent since the side story has started. So that to me tells me that that is his very fiber of being. Like light is everything to him. Now, obviously, that's inconsistent with the main story of Tower of God because we've never seen that, and that's okay because it's just a concept that we haven't been introduced to. So I would compare that to the likes of like a One Piece, right? One Piece has had hockey in it from the very beginning, but hockey did not get introduced into the story officially until Luffy learned it. Now we can see hockey visually on the screen when we watch the anime. Though it existed even before that, people were been using hockey. So I see it as that, like right, like we understand that Urik's a god actually because that's not explained in the regular story. He has the power of light that comes from his being. So that'll probably play a factor into the main story now for something that for us to understand, even whether he uses it or not, it'll be there. Because I do think with the introduction of Phantominium's darkness and Urik's light, this is going to play a factor in the main story because the dark part of it has already existed within Bomb, right? The outside god, which we know to be the dark god, it's that concept has already existed in the story. So I think it'll eventually play a part. Now, not in like regular stuff, right? So not in between. Like I don't think it'll play a part in like the war between great warriors. Like Obama, if Bomb comes across I don't know, blood matter, and he has to like fight blood matter or fighting people as like it's not gonna come across in situations it doesn't matter in. It's gonna come across whenever like anything Phantominium related, anything Fug possibly related, and then Uric side. So and I think it'll be very important whenever we get the Urix floor, because then we'll get to see from the Tower of God side, the regular story side, what Uric is, what his organization exactly is, because we have an idea of what Uric's um, organization is about and what they're supposed to do, obviously to escape. But we'll probably get more details about actual Phantominium and actual Yorick in the real Tower of God, and how it relates to the story of Tower of God in the actual Tower of God. And this, I think, will just get Yorick background, everything related to like with the details between him and Phantominium, but it'll relate and go back to Bomb when we get to the main story, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. So I hope that's not confusing. Another piece of possible evidence is darkness of the tower. Darkness of the tower, a term used by Kel Helm to refer to Fug. Yes, the darkness of the tower thing has Kel Helm has said that, and also Luslik has said that the darkness of the tower. I can only relate that to Phantominium, like because now that we know that he's exists in the tower, he's brought outside people into the tower like Magoo, who is technically a hidden irregular technically. um there are like the darkness is not just like an ambiguous term, it's something describing something now. And so we may be taking it a little too far to assume it's actually something in the main story, but now that we have our heads wrapped around it, it's something to think about. um what do you think the Luminous power is? Because they already use light speed attacks in the current story. I can't think of anything that beats that. So the way Yurik described it, and it could just be a translation thing. I think that's one of the lines I'll be looking forward to in the official translation in Webtoon, is when Yurik said that he could capture. What was he trying to capture again? I don't know if he said, was it Danzin or something, but he said he could capture it if he used his his luminous power. So I don't know if it's like something like a solar flare from Dragon Ball Z, where he just light up the area and like use that as like a net or something like that. I have no idea. I'm just throwing shit out there. Um, because I don't think current Yurik is beating Fanta, let alone the spinoff version. Because no way the guy or whoever is taking care thought Yurik was ready. I think current Yurik in the real story, in like Tower of God, he might be ready. He might be ready to fight Fanta. There's no reason to think he's not. I mean, he low diffs everything around him, pretty much. I he literally is like the second strongest person in the tower, and Zahar is only number one because he's the king. That's it. And Yurik hasn't done anything drastic to earn the number one title. Mind you, Phantom Minion got his title from slaughtering Zahar's family. Ryu got his title from slaughtering people and killing an administrator. Yurik hasn't done anything to earn himself anything above Zahar. Zahar's the king, the supreme being of the tower, but he hasn't done anything drastic. So he built his own organization, and he is a luminous one. I don't know if Zahar knows that, but he is the second strongest person in the tower by the tower's ranking. By let me make that clear. By the tower's ranking, that does not mean that Zahar is equal or stronger than Yurik. That does not mean that for shit. That absolutely does not mean that. Not anymore. Not that I now that I know, and that we know that Yurik has power outside of just using Shinsu. He has a god power as well that he may not or may have never used. I'm and he's also, again, he's never it's yet to be seen that he has a drastic event that puts him up here with Zahar. I have no reason to believe that Zahar is stronger than Yurik. I don't. So, right now, I'm gonna believe that Yurik is the strongest man in the tower, and he calls himself the strongest man in the tower. Mind you, he calls himself the strongest man in the tower. So I think he's stronger than Zahar. I think Zahar is just for title. To be real with you. Um. So and what does that mean against Fanta? I mean, he may be strong enough to take Fanta. I don't know. That's something we can't gauge until we see what Fanta is actually capable of. So I pray and I pray. I think it's an absolute motherfucking disservice to the Tower of God fans everywhere in the world if we do not get to see some inkling of Phantominium attacking Zahar's tower, bro. If we don't get to see some inkling of detailed art of Phantominium actually attacking Zahar, I will be so distraught by this side story, guys. I'm telling you, like, because if you look at the art, right, the concept art back from like the little bit of art we get to see with like the dead bodies in the hallway, that's there's no detail. That's just like, oh, I'm drawing this for background so people can understand what we're looking at, what happened. We have to get detailed art. We have to, even if we don't even see like him actually using his ability to kill people. I want more detail. I want to see Phantominium look hard in his eye. We don't have to hear the conversation. I want to see him standing in front of the throne laughing at Zahar. We better get it. We better get it. We better get it. We better get it. I swear that would be a disservice. I would lose my shit if we didn't get that. Talk about making the internet low key explode on this side of things. Yeah, let that drop. Like the same way chapter 1 had the whole everybody talking because of the concept of Phantominium being made canon. Let that whole thing was a hard drop, bro. That would be some shit, man. That would be some content. That'd be some content. Do. Oh boy. How much of a time skip do you think we will have between season 3 and season 4? Honestly, I personally think that there's not much time Steve can allow himself to skip. I don't think we should skip any time, to be real with you. If anything, a week, 2 weeks, like in the actual story. My problem is there's certain things I want to see that happened afterwards. So, for example, right, I want to see the Great Warrior's reaction to Traumary dying. That's something that has to happen not too far after. So you can't skip that. I want to see what happens when Zahar's army, who ran into the revolutionaries, who caught the revolutionaries running away. I want to see if there's a skirmish and if the revolutionaries are actually like that and not actually, they didn't actually run away. They actually fought Zahar's army because Zahar is aware of the revolutionaries and his clones are running around. I want to see the reaction to that. Like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, so it can't be that big of a time skip, bro. It really can't. We got to see what happens to Gustang after being attacked by old girl. Forgive me, I forget her name. I'm still not in Tower of God complete mode yet, but yeah, we can't skip that either. So no, if anything, it's a week time skip, 2 weeks. In the actual story, give it a day. There's too much stuff to cover to skip too much. Kun and Rek are in danger currently, and I want to see Ari Han not playing around this time. Exactly. They're like season 4. Honestly, season 4 should start off hot. It should start off really hot. It should start off hot and then cool down. Because everything after this war, it should be hot. There should be a lot of shit going on. It can peak and then it can mellow out. I think that's how we should start it. Personally. By the way, Mirror on did Yurik dirty. We know how strong Yurik was when he was on floor 1. Imagine how strong he was during hidden floor. Duh. But how strong he was on hidden floor, and the mirror reduced him to the mirror data as a hard level. I would be mad. Yeah. Yeah, you right, yo. Yeah, you're exactly right. Oh my. I can't even. It's hard to even quantify. Like, your strength is so hard to even quantify, bro. Especially only being around for 500 years. It's just insane. It really is. It really is insane. Oh man. All right, it's 8:40. It is late. All right, gang. I think I talked enough Tower with you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been active. You all know what's been going on for the past 2 months, but all that's over now. I'm back to regularly scheduled programming. So do look forward to a review next week of the next chapter of Tower of God Ureks Side Story, chapter 18. I will be doing a review for that. I will be doing a stream for it as well. Then I got other anime content because there's a lot of good anime out this season. I don't know if you guys have been watching anime, but there's a lot of good anime out this season. Let me tell you, what is it, like Sakamoto Days Part 2? Jesus, hold on, because let me go to my Crunchyroll, and then I have my anime website as well that obviously Dan to Dan season 2 is out. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Dragon Raja, but Dragon Raja is really good. Season 2 of that just came out. I'm watching this other series called The Water Magician. It's okay. So the Rising of the Shield Hero season 4 is out. I'm watching that. Clevitus is pretty good so far. Watching that. Ugly Mug is it's a funny one. I'm just entertained by ones like that. But there's a lot. Lord of Mysteries is also pretty good. The Oni anime, I did start and watch episode 1 of that one. Obviously 2B Hero X, yes, I've been watching that as well. There's a lot of good anime this season, gang. If y'all didn't know about it, like this is the season to be. I know it's the summertime and you want to go out and have fun, but this is the season to. If you ain't got nothing else to do this summer, there's a lot of good anime to watch. So please, go check some of those out. I will be dropping videos on those. Other than that, thank you guys. Gotcha Kuda. Yes, I'm also watching that. But and also Demon Slayer movie is coming out. Did it come out today? That should have came out today, right? The Demon Slayer movie should have came out today, right? Today's the 19th. Oh, it's in September. I thought it came out already. Okay, I thought it was coming out in July. Okay, it's coming out in September. Yeah, and then Kaiju is coming back. Yep, a lot of good stuff, guys. But I'll be seeing you guys soon. I will be in my Discord active, so look for me there.